Name something you see in every scary movie. Tell me.
要望がなければ、その被災地の缶詰を無料配布するということはしないですか？じゃあ要望しながら
でも第三国の人たちって食べ物に困ってるような方とかもいらっしゃると思うので、そういう方が食べ物をなんだろう、断るってことをするのかどうか、それでその病気になる可能性があるものを提供するっていうことがちょっと日本人として避けてほしいことです。
国民の毎日そうやって苦労しながら子供を育てている人々の税金によって思わぬ被害を海外の子供たちに与えてしまうかもしれないようなことっていうのは絶対にしてほしくないと思います。
やっぱり困ってる子どもたちが食べるんですよね。困ってる子どもたち、貧しい子どもたちが食べるんですよ。何をですか？この真っ赤になったところで取れた魚、サンマ、サバ、一番真っ赤なところにいるやつ魚ですよ。それをさ、わざわざそういう子どもに食べさせて日本のイメージが良くなると思いますか？僕は一番それが問題だと思いますよ、外務省にとっては。この子たちはそれは知らないかもしれない。でもこの子たちは知らなくたって国際社会は見てます。あんなところで取れた魚を持ってっちゃったよってことにみんな気がつきますよ。その辺はどう思いますか？
そこはご要望がない国に対しては、
いや、ご要望じゃなくて、だってお金がなければ食べるのが先でしょ。
Citizens groups and local governments in the Tokyo metropolitan area have been finding pockets of high radiation since the Fukushima nuclear accident. The Science Ministry has launched a telephone hotline to receive their radiation reports and advise them on decontamination.
Name something you see in every scary movie.
Expert っていうか専門家は
There are few experts who say such a thing. It is probably because you won't stay there around the clock.
そこを通りかかって
A hotspot is a place where you pass by and are exposed to radiation. But even if exposed, given that there are few places with a radiation level of 20 millisievert per year, experts say you don't need to worry much about direct impact on your body.
Name something you see in every scary movie. Tell me.
福島市で11月の2週目の日曜日に、東日本女子駅伝というのが行われるんです。女子駅伝ですよ。まだ線量が高い場所です。でそこで、下は中学生13歳から高校生ぐらいの女の子がメインのランナーなんですよ。その子たちにまだ復興もしてないのに復興しましたっていうはったりの看板を上げるために走らせるっていうのが僕どうも納得いかない。
どこが主催してんの？どこが主催してんの？
ケーズ電機がメインスポンサーですから。ケーズ電機っていうところがメインスポンサー。であとやっぱり JR とか。
主催はどこが？
その主催？わかんないです。ごめんなさい。
やっぱり県とか市とか関連じゃない？
もちろんですよ。はい。
Name something you see in every scary movie.
From UFOs to ghosts and psychic powers, history is riddled with unexplained events. You can turn back now and learn the stuff they don't want you to know. Here are the facts. On the 11th of March 2011, an 8.9 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast of Japan's Honshu Island, triggering a devastating tsunami. Over 15,000 people lost their lives. This number could have been far higher had the disaster occurred in another country. Japan leads the world in earthquake preparation. Japanese engineers have spent decades perfecting techniques like shock absorbers and reinforced walls to minimize the damage of natural disasters. Japan's power plants have similar safeguards. The quake triggered automatic shutdowns for 11 of the country's nuclear reactors, including the Fukushima Daiichi power plant run by TEPCO, the Tokyo Electric Power Company. At first it seemed there might be a stroke of good luck. Of the 6 reactors at the plant, 3 were already shut down for maintenance. Yet the quake cut the power station from the national grid, and the tsunami damaged the emergency generators. As the Japanese government scrambled to protect the people of Fukushima, TEPCO officials stated that no meltdown had occurred, and they were working around the clock to minimize the damage. Not everyone believed them, and those skeptics turned out to be correct. Here's where it gets crazy. Nuclear power plant mishaps are usually rated on a scale of 1 to 7, with 1 being the least severe and 7 being something on the level of Chernobyl. Initially, the Fukushima disaster was rated a 4, and TEPCO officials claimed there was no meltdown. Yet according to reporters from The Independent, the meltdown was already occurring as TEPCO released this statement. The earthquake knocked out the plant's power, and the tsunami washed out the backup generators soon after. Without a continual source of cooling, the waters surrounding the nuclear fuel rods began to boil away. The metal tubes holding uranium fuel pellets overheated and cracked. When the water reached the fuel pellets, it triggered a process called thermolysis. The water grew so hot that it broke down into hydrogen and oxygen. This volatile hydrogen gas needed to be vented, but venting too quickly caused an explosion on March 12th. By the 15th of March, 2 more explosions had occurred. If the water continued to boil away, then a meltdown was surely imminent. By April 11th, nuclear regulators raised the severity level to a 7, ranking it on par with Chernobyl. Today, there is no doubt that this disaster will affect Japan for decades to come. Yet numerous individuals, including some former and current TEPCO employees, believe the reactor wasn't safe to begin with. 9 days before the meltdown, Japan's Nuclear Industrial Safety Agency warned TEPCO of failures to perform critical inspections. Earlier in 2002, TEPCO admitted to covering up data about cracks in circulation pipes, which siphon heat from the reactors. In the months following the disaster, TEPCO admitted that a massive fuel melt occurred 16 hours after the loss of coolant, still several hours before the initial hydrogen explosion. In crisis scenarios, incorrect information can often get spread accidentally. However, in this case, it appears disinformation may have been spread intentionally, or at least the truth was downplayed. As of 2011, numerous questions remain about the events leading up to the meltdown and the extent of the remaining damage and contamination. Will the public learn the answers to these questions? What is the extent of the damage to Fukushima? What does this disaster mean for similar nuclear power plants around the globe? For now, it appears these answers are something they don't want you to know.